Okay, we're back. We're back live, and I'm on live on YouTube and not on Zoom. Gosh, man, I don't know how to do technology. I'm trying to figure out a way to do where I can have you guys call in or come on video, so I can just talk to you guys, answer questions, or get funny stories. Obviously, nobody's in the Zoom in the live right now, so I'm talking to myself. Hopefully, people can join. I had about 6 people before. We got 5 people watching. Let's see some comments. Hey, David from Peter living in Salento. What's up, man? What's up, Peter? Can you hear me okay? Am I coming in good? Were you on the last live that I just did a second ago that I screwed up? All right, guys. Yeah, audio all good. Yes, sounds okay. Okay, cool, man. This is an impromptu live. I'm trying to figure this out. I see you. How's my camera? Is my camera suck or what? I'm using just the camera on my computer, so it's probably not the best. What's up, East LA? What's up, Dave? What's up, Jesse? What's up, Adam? Guys, ask me questions. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's say, hey, Dave, I've been in Medellin for 16 months. Love it, but it's very hard to find a place to settle down, call home. Almost impossible. Real estate agents don't want to work. All right, let's talk about that topic today. Let's talk about that topic right now, and then I'll move to the next topic. Yo, what's up, everybody? So let me know in the comments too. I'm trying to figure out a way. I tried the Zoom because Zoom is all I know. I know there's a StreamYard thing as well, but I want to get to where I can have you guys call in either by like phone or by video and tell me interesting stories and kind of like the old school radio shows where listeners would call in and ask questions or talk about their experience, that kind of stuff. I think it'll be kind of interesting to hear from you guys because I'm not gonna lie, YouTube is cool and all, but I'm being totally honest up front. One of the hardest things about YouTube is coming up with new topics every video and constantly feeding the monster. You have to feed YouTube monsters. You have to feed it. If you don't feed it, it doesn't feed you. So I thought, you know what? What if I just did like a radio show where people called in and we talked, and maybe some of you guys had some experiences. I heard of a guy who, you get involved with the wrong people or the right people or negative, positive questions, topics, and then we just talk. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. But hold on, let's see. Let me go through this. So I'm gonna go back on the topic about the real estate agents and they don't want to work. So that is 100% true here in Colombia. I'm not sure about all Colombia, but in Medellin, that's the case. It's hard to find a good real estate agent. It's not like in the States. And I remember my mom used to complain about real estate agents in the States because she used to be a real estate agent back in the 70s. And back in those days before computers, agents had to work. You go through there was a large book of listings and you had to find the listings. What she would do was she would find out from the client, okay, what do you want from a house? What do you want? This is that, and find all the criteria that she needed to look for. And then she would search in the book and then get 3 options. And out of those 3 options, usually she did such a good job that the client would pick one. Nowadays in the States, everything's on the internet. Everything's on the client or whoever's buying does all the legwork, finds the house they want to look at, and basically the agents nowadays just go and open the doors and fill out the contract. But even that being said, the quality of agents in the States is a million times better than the quality of agents here in Colombia or in Medellin. One reason could be anybody could be an agent here. You don't need a license. You don't need to go to real estate school. Even though in the States you can go to real estate school for the weekend and take the test and get a license, you're a licensed agent. But here, the guy doing the garden, the guy taking out the trash, the porteria, he can make commission off of selling a house. It's all the same. Anybody can do it. And most of those real estate agents, with the reason they're working there, they're high school kids or they're college kids just trying to do something, and yeah, they're not the best. You can find maybe a few good ones, but in my experience, it's been hard. And like I've always said, one of the hardest things to do here in Colombia or in Medellin is rent an apartment. I've been here 6 years and I still use Airbnb. I'm actually in the process trying to figure out how to figure out a better way to find apartments. If I can figure that out, I'll let you guys know. Um, I want to get out. This apartment, it's on the more less expensive side when it comes to Airbnb where I'm at, but it's not the best design. It's very cramped, and I want to get a. When I'm paying for this place, I can get like a 3 bedroom apartment directly with the agent or directly with the owner. So, but I also don't want to do the old school way. What Colombians do, most Colombians do, is they walk the streets, they look for the orange signs on the windows, and they call or they talk to all the doormen, and it's just leg work, man. Here it's big time leg work. It's not like in the States where you show up to a brand new apartment building and walk in. There's the people in the front desk. You know, sign up and they run your credit, run your get your history, then you're qualified. Not like that here, man. It's too bad. Whoever can figure out a way to make that easier can make a lot of money. A lot of money. Okay. And when I say easier, I mean make it easier, but don't charge so much money because you're taking advantage of foreigners. Because that's what happens here. Because it's so hard to rent. When the only options that we have, unless we do the hard legwork, is paying double or sometimes 3 times more what you should be paying. So there it is. All right, camera looks okay. I can't believe it. This is I'm actually thinking about getting a webcam, like an actual separate webcam, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll go with this one. All right. So let me look at the questions. And then, guys, if you guys want me to answer a question 100%, super chat's the way to do it. That way, it highlights it so I can see it. All right, let me look through the questions. Do you still with your girl or not? I'm thinking you're asking, are you still with your girl or not? Yes, we're still together. We're still together. I just don't talk about her as much anymore. And she never likes to come on. She never liked to come on camera. She's a very private person. Her family's very private people. And this is a very non-private platform. So that's just what it is. Okay. Hey man, how are you nowadays? Man, I'm good. I was a little burnout from YouTube and making videos, so I took some time off. Yeah, I do that sometimes. I don't know if you guys people who've been following me for a while have noticed that I sometimes take a month off, 2 months for making videos. And then I try to find other ways to make money. And then that doesn't work. So I come back, but this is good. I like YouTube. I like talking to you guys. One of the hardest things when it comes to doing YouTube is turning the camera on. Before you turn that camera on, it's like it's just you get I don't know, maybe just me, but I get like a mental block. But right when I turn the camera on, I just click and it just flows all the time, ever since day one. So whoever's trying to start this, just get past that, turn the camera on, and just start talking. All right, let's see. Gringo prices now, brother, prices are insane. That is true. I hope that this doesn't turn to Costa Rica, because Costa Rica used to be cheap. I don't know how many years ago, but it used to be affordable. Now it's not affordable. I mean, people who retired there, there's people from the States who have a fixed income. They get their retirement check or whatever, their Social Security. And when the prices start going up, they get priced out. Just like the locals. Locals get priced out of the place. I think in Costa Rica, now they have two prices, one for local, one for foreigners. They have to do that, or the locals can't live in the city anymore. So let's hope that Medellin doesn't get this way. And it most likely will, because Medellin is like the hub of foreigners now. It's becoming very popular. All right, I'm gonna go through these questions. Again, super chat. Did you ever try and open an agency for expats to make it easier for buying a car app? Se habla inglés. It's asking me if I ever tried to open up an agency to help expats make it easier for buying car, app, house, etc. Man, I love Colombia. I love Colombian people. I love the culture here, but I don't love doing business here. I just don't, because I've said it before, especially here in Antioquia and Medellin, there's some of the best negotiators. There's some really good business people, but it gets kind of old having to negotiate all the time, having to people lowball you or this and that. And like, for example, I don't like buying stuff here. I would hate to come here for 6 months and get an apartment and furnish it all, like furnish it with a bunch of furniture and fridge. And because what happens is you put it online to sell it, and then you're getting lowballed like crazy. The best way to resell is just to other foreigners if you're able to do that. But it's just a big headache, man. So answering the question about starting an agency, I mean, it could work, but it's also me. Like I like to work alone, and when you do that, you have to rely on other people, and other people can sometimes mess up. And especially it's me, the face, YouTube, and if things go wrong, it's me, David, who gets blamed. like a certain big real estate agency that was here a while ago had a person that was on YouTube that was the face, and when they went down and when they took off running, he took a bad rap off it too, and I felt bad for him. So I don't want to. I kind of stay away from that, you know. But if things work out, if it comes across my table and it looks 100% good, and I can offer it up, I'll offer it up. Will your walk and talk neighborhood tours make a comeback, David? Maybe, maybe. I mean, I've already walked a lot of the areas. They got a lot of content out there, and there were long videos in different topics. I found that doing short videos with this one topic was doing better with the YouTube algorithm. There's a word, YouTube algorithm. But then that got old too because I have to think about a new topic every time. So that's why I'm trying this out. I'm gonna try this out, and if I can figure out a software, like figure out StreamYard where I can have people call in, like a radio show, where you guys call in and ask me questions, and you could either be by phone or by video. I've got to figure that out. We'll see if that works. I tried to do it a moment ago on Zoom, but I just couldn't figure out the. It was having double. I was hearing myself talk. It was weird. All right, I'm moved. Let's see. I'm trying to go through this question. I'm sorry, guys. They're coming in quick. Let's see. We got 78 people, only 22 likes. The way that this videos work is if you guys do likes, that way YouTube sees, man, holy crap, this live is really great because everybody's liking it and it pushes it to more people. So it's guys, 76 people, 28 likes. Let's get some more likes up there. Help me out, please. All right, let's see. I'm going through these questions. Uh, I am moving to Colombia and I purchased some real estate. What are your thoughts on getting into real estate in Colombia? I think this is my opinion, of course, right? So I think the best return on investment in real estate here in Colombia and Medellin is Airbnb rentals. So if you know Airbnb and you know how to run it well to where you become a super host and do your listing well and get pictures, all that kind of stuff, you know, run the Airbnb business well, then you could do well here. But then again, there's a lot of competition. So you got to do it good. You have to be above the rest, you know, and offer things that other apartments or Airbnb hosts aren't offering. For example, maybe standing desk, or maybe like always like do very high internet strength and then show that in your listing. Things like that. Think this way, and then go for that. You know, that would be it. But buying a real estate to rent to locals, the ROI is not very high, man. The rents here are so cheap, you know. It, but that is the way that Colombians think when it comes to investments. They think real estate, and that's cool. Real estate, you know, many millionaires are started made it through real estate. So do your due diligence, get it right. You need good people on your team. You need a lawyer, and you need an accountant, and trustworthy. Both of them need to be very trustworthy. And then also, there's a third party appraisal company that if you ask your lawyer, they should know about, that can get appraised, because here there's no real MLS. You really can't do comparables. The real estate agents really won't help you to find out if you're actually paying the right price or not. And you coming from the States, you're going to be seen as big money bags. Let's see how much money we can get from. And here in Colombia, it's all about buyer beware. You should know better. So if you get ripped off, if things happen to you here, it really, people just think, well, you should have known better. You know, they're not gonna be like, oh, poor you. And that's why in Facebook groups, a lot of, like in the expat Facebook groups, people complain about people victim blaming when they get robbed. Whatever, a lot of people victim blame. That's just part of the culture here. You know, it's what it is. All right, so okay, I've probably explained this a million times, but easiest way to stay in Medellin over 90 days on a tourist visa. You come on June, you stay, you extend it after 3 months. So June, July, August, whatever, August, October, whatever it is. And you do the extension for additional 3 months, and you stay until December. And whatever that day in December you need to leave, you leave. Go to Panama, go home for Christmas, go wherever, and then come back in January and repeat. That way you get a full year. That's still working as of now, January 31st, 2023, and things could change. Or as, yeah, Super Robofy said a student visa is also an option as well. Yeah. Do I plan to eventually getting a Colombian citizenship? I would love to. I would love to get first residency. I had to restart my visa because my past lawyers kind of screwed me over and told me it wasn't possible. And I went to a new lawyer, and then she said, "I can't believe that she lets you let that 4 years on your past visa just go, because all I needed was 5 years. I needed one more year to get residency, apply for residency. So I had to now have to restart, and I got 3 years, and that's good until 2025. And then I got renewed. Hopefully, they haven't changed the rules because here in Colombia, they're always changing the requirements for the visa. And then I get renewed, and then hopefully it'll be longer than 2 years, and then I can apply for residency. And then for citizenship, I have to weigh the options. I never really researched really deeply into getting citizenship or not, if it the pros and cons. So I have to weigh the options and make that decision when that time comes. All right, we got 99 people and 61 likes. This is great for an impromptu live that I didn't let you guys know what I'm doing. Like I said before, I'm gonna try to do. Guys, let me know in the comments. I'll read through the comments. Let me know what you guys think about that idea about like doing like a type of a radio show where people like where you guys can call in and talk to me and ask questions or tell me stories. 'Cause I'm pretty sure you guys who've come to Colombia maybe had some experiences and you want to tell a story, but you don't want to show your face. So you just it's by phone, you know. So let me know if you guys that sounds interesting or not. All right. I would feel safer buying from a gringo. Man, there's some stories about foreigners or gringos ripping off other gringos, man. You gotta be careful. So just be street smart. I actually did a consultation the other day, and I offer consultation. You guys need me. If you guys want to talk to me one on one, ask me questions in the descriptions, my Instagram, and also my email. Send me a message to set up a call, a Zoom video call. We can do one on one in private. But I did a consultation the other day, and he made a good comment. He's like, "All right, I have to just remember coming to Colombia is a different experience. It's not like other places. You got to don't leave your common sense at home and adapt to the culture here." So there were some situations where foreigners just took advantage of other foreigners, and they got blasted on Facebook. But I'm pretty sure there's other ones that are doing scams. So just got to buyer beware, you know. Let's see. Thanks. All right. David, would you consider doing Cafecito con David tour? I would be down for that type of meetup where we can all converse. Maybe I might set up like maybe once a month or something where we all get together and go on a walk-in tour together. You know, I'll think about it. I'll definitely think about it. Especially as the channel grows. As the channel grows, we're getting more people involved. Then it'll be easier to get a group together on a specific day because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are watching, but you're not here in Colombia or Medellin at this moment. You're watching from home, you know. So, all right, let's see. Hold on. Whoa, I didn't hear about this. Did you already cover about the DJ who was murdered and how it has affected foreigners there? I didn't hear about this DJ being murdered. Tell me more. That's the kind of stuff right there. That's the kind of stuff I would like someone calling in and talking about it and letting me know. And I can't on this YouTube live stream. I can't share my screen and actually look up on Google. But let me see real quick. Let me try to find DJ murdered in Medellin, Colombia. Find out about this. Texas man busted in death of DJ girlfriend Valentina. What? Oh, I wish I could show my screen right now. Golly. All right, so we got Texas man busted in death of DJ Galpao found stuffed in suitcase in Colombia. Holy crap. U.S. is in charge over alleged killing of DJ in Colombia. So there you go. Crazy people, man. That's insane. So the unfortunate thing, one of the unfortunate things about Medellin, Colombia, and this is there's many negatives, there's many positives, but one of the unfortunate things is that it's low barrier to entry, meaning you can buy a ticket from New York or Florida for like $200 and get here. So that low barrier entry allows all kinds of people to come here, man. And I'm going to have to read more on this topic and maybe make a video about it, but Stuffed it. So the Texas man killed the girl, the Colombian girlfriend, and stuffed her in the suitcase. Am I reading that correct? Hold on. That is basically dead 23. Okay, I'll have to read more on that and come back to you guys on that topic. But let me see. My computer's froze up. 1 second. Well, there you go. This is why I need to get a different live streaming thing because now it's froze up. I should have gone to the other screen. I'll get back. Give me some time, guys. I want. So this is another thing. I'll talk while the screen comes back. You guys are probably seeing me, but I'm not seeing your comments or anything. But the things that happen to foreigners, we're back. I'm back on. The things that happen to foreigners, like the drugging, the scopolamina, the killings, that kind of stuff, happen to Colombians too. You know, other Colombians do that to Colombians, and it looks like foreigners do it to Colombians too. So it's not just foreigners being targeted. It's also that's why I talk about, for example, a normal person and that kind of stuff. Let's just give that example. That's the most common foreigners getting in trouble kind of thing. A normal girl, a good girl, is not going to go back to your apartment. They don't even know you. They just met you on Tinder. They just, you guys met online. You guys met one time at the bar. You start having drinks and then go back to your place. Normal good girl Colombians don't do that because for the longest time, they could get scoped and raped and killed as well. The ones that have bad intentions in their minds are the ones who are trying to get back to your place. Now, of course, I would say that's like the higher percentage of those girls that just meet you online and want it and pushing to get back to your place have bad intentions. Of course, there's always exceptions. There's always he's a foreigner. I'll never see him again. That could happen. But why risk it? Why play Russian roulette? And this is riskier than Russian roulette because Russian roulette you have 6 chambers with 1 bullet. Here, all right. Guy had 3 kids and a wife here. They were in a relationship. Our visas. Anything about Colombian part? Yes, he couldn't fit her whole body, so her head hanging. Jeez, man. He knew her. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sorry, but I have to read more into that and talk about it on another video. But Medellin is a different story. You can come here and have a great time, and nothing can happen to you, right? But if you make the wrong choices, if you go down the wrong ways, if you come here thinking, oh, it's just like back home, I can go to the bar, I can meet a girl, and then have a one night stand, take her back to my place, or go to you're playing, you're risking yourself. And now with what just happened with that girl who got murdered by a foreigner, okay, so here's another thing. For the longest time, like as the foreigners, we've been getting bad reps, especially people coming here and visiting and traveling here to have, they Colombian girls, good girls think, oh, poblado, parquejeres, foreigners. I'm not gonna go there because I won't get hit on by a bunch of horny guys, and they're all just looking for one thing. All right, so getting that bad rep. But that being said, if you're a good person and you have good intentions, you come here and you just want to just get involved with the culture, learn things here, eat the food, be a normal person, and not just trying to just get laid as much as you can. Colombians aren't dumb either. They're going to see that and say, okay, you're a normal person, and then treat you like a normal person and not classify you as just a sex tourist, right? But in general, like the foreigners come here, they're getting that in general classification. And now with this dude who did that to that girl, oy, man, oh man, that's unfortunate. Okay, so have you seen the video going viral on World Star Hip Hop? The kid robbed in Cartagena. I have not seen that video, man. Guys, you guys are staying more on top of this, what's going on in Colombia than me. I've been actually investigating other things, on YouTube. And you know how YouTube works. When you're looking at certain topics, right? It feeds you that same topic. So I've been seeing all that topic on YouTube. So Tell me more. That's again another reason I want people calling in and let's talk about this kind of stuff. Jeez, man. All right. There was a US guy in Peru a few years back who killed a girl and stuffed her in a suitcase like that. They did catch him though, thankfully. Jeez, man. Again, low barrier of entry. If this was, if it was like $2,000 to get here, they still come, but it'll be just a little bit harder. Jeez, man. All right. And though that guy, if he got caught and sent to prison, is not being treated very well. That's the last place I want to be in a Colombian prison, especially doing that kind of stuff and being a foreigner, man. No, 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 no. I heard of there was another guy many years ago. I saw the story was he was an older guy, he came here and he was trying to get with younger girls, and he was pursuing this one girl, trying to what's it called when you work her, like you work the person, like you're pursuing, you're working her, you're grooming. He was grooming a young girl, and then he got caught. I guess the investigator was investigating him and caught him and sent him to prison. I'm not sure if he did the act or not. He probably did. Yeah, to get sent to prison, he did the act on a younger person, and he was scared for his life. He was so scared he didn't want to get tortured in prison. He hung himself over here in Colombia. This was about 7 years ago. So okay, so I'm looking through the questions, and again, super chats. Make sure I see your questions. We got 84 likes and 104 people, so if we can get the likes up, guys. Help me out. Let's see. Am I retired? No, I'm not retired. Unfortunately, no. Got to make money. Let's see. Yeah, flight from Los Angeles, layover in Miami, and to Medellin is like $500. Sometimes cheaper depending on day. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me go back to the question, see if I can see anything. There was a guy from Baton Rouge who went to Cartagena and met a girl off Bumble, was kidnapped and lost over $10,000, empty bank account, and maxed out credit cards. That's very common. And another thing that happens here to both Colombians and foreigners, if they do that to you and they rob you and they drug you, that kind of stuff, a lot of times they'll leave you abandoned in a ditch or next to the canal, uh, butt naked, no IDs, no nothing. Right? They leave you stranded. Okay, and this has happened many times. Actually, I think another YouTuber had a guest on that was an ambulance worker, and she told the story that it's very common to find people butt naked, drugged, stranded in a ditch. And I think they do that because it's harder to identify the person, so it takes them a little bit longer and more time for them to get away and escape and to sell all this stuff or whatever. So they have their ways. Okay, one second. So prices are crazy. I was looking to buy an apartment in Alejandria 1 year ago for 480,000, and now it's for sale again for 995,000 in 1 year. Crazy. So those prices are made up by the owners, and the reason why is because most people have their houses paid off, and it's not like here not like in the states where people are in debt to the gills and they can't, like, there's motivated sellers because they can't pay their mortgage anymore. They're going foreclosure, that kind of stuff. Most people here, houses are paid off, claimed, done. And then if they do get a loan, they try to pay off as soon as possible, 5, 10 years, to get that done. So that's why this person probably thought, 408,000. No, now 995. And then if nobody buys it, no big deal. Because most people, also another thing, most people are born and they die in the same city. It's not like in the States where you get transported to another city to a job. You have to, change jobs, change states, and you have to sell your house and let it go. No, people just live here forever. You know, this is what it is. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going through this question, but they're coming in. I'm trying to find one. Let's see. Okay, here's a good question. Hi, David. What investment do you think are the do you think are the best for the business visa if my Prio is keeping this from scammers? And what are the costs like for keeping bus active get legal? I don't understand this question. I think I understand your question. I just don't understand how you wrote it about the scammer thing. But I'm gonna ask you a question. What investments do I think best for a business visa? Anything that you can manage and have a profit, and you need what you need for a business visa, and it goes up every year. It's around, when I got it was like $26,000. You need cash to put it into a business bank account here in Colombia, and then when you have that, you also get a lawyer to help you with the process, and an accountant, and you get a SAS, which is like an LLC in the States. Is SAS is here in Colombia. You open the SAS, you declare what business you're going to do. So it could be anything. When I did a call center for my insurance company. You can sell T-shirts. You can open an ice cream shop. You can do consultations. But whatever you think of, you do, and you need to have at least one employee, and it needs to be profit and loss, because when it comes up for renewal, you're going to be showing your profit and loss after whatever amount of time they gave you, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You show that profit and loss. If they see it's actually a valid business that's working, then they'll renew. If they don't see it's working, they'll just deny, and you're done. So you gotta think of that very carefully when you go in that direction. And if you want more information, or you want to talk and get more of a brainstorming ideas, send me a message on Instagram or email, and we can schedule a Zoom consultation. David para presidente. I don't know, man. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I think nowadays anybody could be president. Because you got so many people. Just it's the people in the backgrounds that are controlling everything, right? Let's see. That incident happened in Bogota, not Medellin. So the incident about the DJ, I'm assuming. I didn't. Again, I just heard about it just now on this live stream. I'll do more research on it. Is marijuana legal in Colombia? It is, but there's restrictions. There's exceptions. So you can have marijuana on your person, but up to a certain amount of grams. If you have over that, you can get in trouble. I don't know the amount of grams. I don't smoke. But there are people, you can be smoking in the park, and if you have that amount of grams, you're fine. And there's also smoke shops here as well, where you can go and purchase that kind of stuff. I believe. I'm not an expert in that, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. When is the next time you visit the States? I don't know, man. It's expensive, the States. It's getting a flight there, staying in hotels, the food, everything's. And now I'm seeing on YouTube and everybody's complaining about the inflation going up. Like the price of eggs are ridiculous over there. Like, was it seven? What is the price of eggs now? That's crazy. So I've been here in Colombia for so long, I might get sticker shocked on the price when I go over there. So we'll see, man. Maybe if I start making really good money and it doesn't hurt me to go back, then I'll go. That's the unfortunate thing. My Spanish is terrible. Do you think I can manage to get by and enjoy my time with close to no Spanish? Google Translate will be your friend, and they just work hard. I mean, here in Medellin, people are patient, and they see you're trying. They're gonna have patience. They may laugh at you, but that's just what it is. Don't take things personally if they laugh. This is they still laugh at me sometimes. My Spanish I would consider pretty good. So just do it. What can you lose? All right, we got first super chat, man. I really appreciate you, dude. Um, Dress code clinician. Question: why do some travelers date Latin women in Colombia, but they don't date them here in Houston, Texas, where there are plenty of beautiful Latinas? I have no idea. That's a well. I don't know, man. I mean, well, it could also be about culture. I mean, I don't know each individual person and their choices, but say, I mean, I'm Hispanic, and I was born in Texas. I'm like fourth generation Texan, right? Um, but my culture I would consider more from the States versus someone born and raised here in Colombia. So there's cultural differences. So maybe somebody might like the culture difference of a Latina here in Colombia and the way they are versus a Latina in Houston, Texas, who's born and raised in like second or third generation. They're like they have the Latin culture. I also have a Latin culture, but there's also very in the United States culture. Both, there's nothing wrong with either one. It's just there's preferences. There's also different countries in Latin America that have different cultures. You're here in Colombia, and then you go to Peru, or even within Colombia, you're here in Medellin, Then you go to the coast, you're getting different cultures. So just everybody's preference, I would say. Good question, man. Good question. Has the price of avocados gone up a lot there, David? Is that guy selling them from a Tesla now? No, I don't think the price of avocados are have gone up. But the avocate man, he's still there. He's still alive. I live in a different apartment now, and I'm up high, so I don't really hear him as much. And the road in front of me is pretty busy, so they don't go around that area that much. So haven't heard them, but they're still out there, and they're not selling from a Tesla. But I've seen a few fruit guys are dressing pretty nice. It might be a good business. Basically what they do is they go to the big market and they buy in wholesale price, and then I mean, I don't know how they really walk. That's far, and they're pushing the carts, so they walk a long ways to get to their spot. Or maybe they store the carts in different areas, like maybe in a parking lot, and then the main guy comes with a truck and unloads that into their carts, and they have their own fruit route, like a paper route. Back in the day when we used to toss the papers, the houses, they have their own fruit route. So that makes more sense, you know. All right, Sugarland, Texas. Hey man, what's up, Captain Photon? I used to go to Sugarland a lot to sell life insurance out there. Driving from the Woodlands, so I would catch traffic two ways: in the morning driving out there, and then in the evening driving back. I used to listen to a lot of books on tape back in those days, man. It was hard. Let's see. Ha, American divorce laws. That could be a reason too. That could be a reason as well. All right, guys. 113, 107 likes. We're almost there to 113. Just need what, 6 more likes. All right, $10. Thanks, man. Que chimba. Celebrate the first super chat from. Oh man, it's your first super chat. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you, man. It really does help out a lot. Let's see. The fruit sellers in the streets are part of the atmosphere I like in Colombia cities. I like to buy from them despite the Colombian friends telling me not to. Why not? Why not buy from them? I don't understand why not. I mean, these guys know what you have to work. Know is the prices. So you got to remember the prices. Maybe buy from a few and then get the average of the few. That way they're not ripping you off. But most time they're pretty honest, especially here in Medellin. And I go to El Éxito and all the bananas are super green. They're not ripe. And then, but the fruit guys always have ripe fruit. I like buying from them too. Maybe it's because they're tired of getting woken up with the aguacate, because that wasn't too common before the pandemic. I think the pandemic had them do that more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember someone telling me about that. All right, so we got another super chat in. Thank you so much, B Stewart. First super chat as well, man. I really appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, good question, Metal Dude. David, what do you think of the Colombian department La Guajira? I haven't been yet, but my girlfriend went on a tour. She actually went with one of her friends who was turning 30. She was turning 30. So they went celebrating. I didn't go because I don't like the heat. I don't like the desert, but she went and she said it was absolutely beautiful. More beautiful than she expected. She was like, I can't believe we have this in Colombia. It was that beautiful. So if you don't mind, and she went with this one company called Medellin Bungee. They do like extreme tourism. They go off the beaten path for different like hiking trails, that kind of stuff, for other kind of things. So she went with them, but at the same time, when I say extreme, is extreme. So they flew from Medellin to Santa Marta, and then they went in like Toyota Land Rovers from Santa Marta to the next spot, which is like I don't know how many hours it was, 7 hours or something like that. And then it gets into the desert where it's 4-wheel drive, and you have to go through there's a bunch of kids. So when you get a certain spot, there's like these kids that put up these ropes as barriers that's kind of like blocking the path, and you got to pay with food. So what everybody does, they chip in an amount of money and they buy in bulk like sugar or rice or candy or whatever, and they buy in bulk, and then they package them up in small little baggies, and they give every, I guess, toll booth, they give a small baggie of sugar and rice to the kids, and these kids are like 7 or 8. But like my girl told me, it's not because they're. I mean, there's poverty there. It is, but it's not because they're starving. Like she said, they look healthy, they're happy, they're laughing. Just part of the culture. That's just what they do. Um, so all that long ride, very bumpy. They get to the destination and they slept in hammocks. So if you can sleep in hammocks and you don't mind roughing it, that's an option with Medellin Bungee. I'm pretty sure there's other options, maybe less roughing it, but it's an experience out there. Actually, she told me one guy went to the Amazon with Medellin Bungee as well, and then went on this tour. And he said that this La Guajira was more extreme than the Amazon. That's saying something, but definitely do it. Go for it. Let me know. I just don't like the heat, and I cannot sleep in hammocks, and I can't do overnight trips on bus or car because I can't sleep either sitting up. I gotta be laying down. I guess I'm soft, man. I'm not. Maybe when I was younger, in my early 20s, I could have done it, but now I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Let's see. Yeah, Rock 101, KLOL, 100%, man. Listen to them. And from Houston. I think they're the ones that did the prank phone calls, right? Where they would call people. That was funny. Mm. Just got back from Medellin 2 days ago. Like the Castilla neighborhood. Do you think it's better than Laureles? Castilla. Let me think where that's located exactly. I wish I can share the screen and show you guys on Google Maps. Yeah, I'm pulling a blank where it's located exactly. I can't give the right comment. But once I do a live stream where I can actually share my screen and that kind of stuff, I'll know where it is. Neil Michael saying the La Guajira is beautiful, but I wouldn't want to live there. No, I wouldn't want to live there either. I just don't like the heat. Also, El Centro Medellin makes Detroit look like Santa Monica. That's a good comment, Nikki. I always tell people when you're coming to Medellin and it's your first time and you haven't been to a place like this and you want to go to El Centro or downtown, there's this free walking tour. I think it's like free walking tour Medellin. Just look them up online on Google, and they do free walk tours around the downtown. Do that. That way you kind of get a vibe of downtown, how it is. Not get a shock. Not put yourself in bad situations or in different places where you shouldn't be. Do the free walking tour. Do that a few times. You know, I go there by myself, no big deal, but I know how to get around. Let's see. When and where is your next beach vacation, Colombia? Love your video. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. We've been talking about going to San Andres for a while. I'm not a beach person. I don't like beaches that much because I get bored. For me, all you can do on the beach is go into the water, come out of the water, and sit in a chair. Maybe if it's beach volleyball, that's fun, but I just get bored there. But I think the next vacation, answer your question, will be San Andres. I don't know it. I haven't been, and I heard good things about San Andres. They have it was colonized by the Dutch, I believe, and they speak a different language. They speak Spanish, but they also speak their own language, a mixture of Dutch, English, and something else. So it's interesting. Woodlands to Sugarland is a drive. That's right, man. And I did it at the time. I was one of the first people to own a smart car in Houston in 2007. It was a bright yellow smart car, and I would drive on that thing. It wasn't comfortable, and I got laughed at and videotaped a lot on the highway. David, how do you avoid guerrilla groups when off the beaten path? Don't go to the areas where guerrilla groups are known to be. So ask those questions before you decide to go somewhere. Ask the questions: is this area safe? Most, like, I think Choco is like a no-go, especially out in the jungle and stuff around that area. Some parts of the department, Cauca, around Cali, like outside of Cali going towards Buenaventura, is a no-go area right now. And I think in Santander or near the border of Venezuela, there's some no-go areas. But just ask the question. Don't go places you don't know, you don't know about, and you should be fine. Well, okay, if you go to San Andres, don't forget Providencia. I thought you okay. I read wrong. Yeah, I want to jump over to Providencia because they say it's beautiful there. Again, guys, if you have a dying question you want me to answer, super chat. And that I'm just seeing these questions come in, and I'm just picking as I go. Let's see. Dave, I go to Medellin 3 or 4 times per year. Love it. But how do you compare Cali? Do you like Cali? Good question. Um, Cali's a little bit warmer. It's not as hot as everybody says. Because I'm from Houston, Texas. I know hot. So Cali is hotter, but it's not overbearing, right? And if you get in the shade, it's nice. It's not humid, too humid. Where in the shade is also hot as well. The people, I would say, the people are friendlier in Cali. I think it's easier to make friends in Cali as well, like to get invited out by people and stuff like that, because they're just here in Medellin. People are super friendly. Paisa culture is very friendly, but in Cali, people are very friendly, uh, having a good time, going dancing. Mm, the food's good. The city's smaller, so less to do. I would say less tourism, so less foreigners. Mm, I would live in Cali for a little bit, but I don't see myself living there long term. But everybody each your own. To each your own. Okay. Less gringo fatigue in Cali. Well, in Medellin, man, you can have less gringo fatigue too if you're just not around the areas where gringos are. If you stay in Poblado, which that's cool, man. If you want to do Poblado, it's your choice, but you're gonna see gringos everywhere. You're gonna see foreigners everywhere, man. Um, but you stay in other parts of the city where they're not there yet, you know. Do you think Manizales is a good city to move to? I love Manizales actually. That's one of my favorite cities in Colombia that so far that I've known. The only problem with Manizales is it's a little bit too small for me. Less things going on. You know, it's not as big as Medellin. But if Manizales was bigger, I might be living there because the people are super nice. The city's clean. It's very safe. It's actually considered one of the safest cities in Colombia, and it's a good area. Like actually, around that area, the Coffee Triangle is very beautiful. Like the mountains, everything. Then we got another. Let me see if I missed a super chat here. No, I didn't miss one. So what I would say is go check it out. You can fly from Medellin to Pereira for very cheap. You fly to Pereira and you take a bus to Manizales. And actually, there's an airport in Manizales as well. If you can get a flight from Medellin to Manizales, go check it out. So Neil saying Cali is fun to visit, but it's too hot. Mosquitoes are a nuisance. It is a party central. Definitely easier to meet people than Medellin. Yep, I would say so. Here in Medellin, there's mosquitoes outside the city, up in the mountains where the air is cleaner. I have a theory. I think there's no mosquitoes in the city because they can't survive the contamination. So that's another benefit with Cali. There's not as much contamination as here in the valley of Medellin. Like we're in a bowl, so all the contamination gets stuck. Okay, great. We got Leo super chat. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Asking, and it's your first super chat, so I thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Any advice for income in Colombia? All right, so the advice that I give when I talk about that is try to make money outside of Colombia. Try to make money in any currency that's stronger than the peso. So the dollar, the euro, the pound, whatever you can do that. And if you don't have any kind of special skills or whatever, you're not a software engineer, you're not sales or whatever, one of the easiest things to do, easiest jobs to get is customer service. A lot of companies are hiring people remotely, and especially with this pandemic that happened, they're more open to letting people work from home. So if you can't think of anything else, just apply it to as many customer service jobs as you can do. I did a consultation with one guy who was customer service to Weight Watchers. I didn't even know people still did Weight Watchers, but I guess they do, and he's customer service. He answers people. I guess people call in and ask, "What? Hey, how many points is this muffin or whatever?" And then he tells them. So, and he's living in Colombia, he's making enough to get by. And the good thing about here in Colombia, so far, is the cost of living is not very expensive. You on 1,500 bucks a month, you can live pretty good. On 2,000, you're living better. Hey, hello, David. Good to see you doing well. It's the guy from the Arctic. Remember me? The Arctic? No, I don't. Dylan, I apologize, but you live in the Arctic? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Awesome. Let's see. Cali and Medellin have almost the same population. I think Cali is just more spread out. So it seems that Medellin has more people as they are more concentrated. That is correct. Good point. Cali is flat and it's spread out. So there's mountains, but it's in the distance and it's very spread out. So going for like to different locations, you can get an Uber, which is not that expensive, or a lot of people drive. Here in Medellin, I love the fact that it has the public transportation, the metro, the buses. You can walk, so it's just all compact, and there's a lot of people in the streets everywhere. So I like the fact that you can just leave the house and there's people in the streets. You know. All right, we got a super chat. Leo, again, thank you so much, man. I can live and work in Colombia visa free. I speak Spanish, and I have like 50,000 in savings. I just need to make at least 8 million pesos to live in Colombia. 8 million pesos. Are you saying 8 million pesos or $8 million? No, 8 million, 8M. I'm guessing pesos. So that's 8 million. That's like what, to like 1,800 bucks, 1,800 US dollars. So again, online job, English. If you're a native English speaker, just get a job, customer service or sales, whatever you can do to make that dollar. Because you get a job here in Colombia, they're gonna work you really hard. Like Colombians work hard, they get worked hard by the companies, and the companies take advantage here. They really se pasan, as they say in Spanish. Um, with the workers and stuff. So getting a job here, they're gonna work you really hard for that peso. So it's better to get a job abroad online. And then also don't tell everybody, don't like you're telling me that's fine on this live, nobody really knows you, but don't come here in Colombia and say, hey, I have 50,000 in savings. Don't let people know that. Keep that close to your chest. This is Colombians would do that too. They're not very open to what they own. I know many people who own multiple apartments, but they don't tell nobody that they own this kind of stuff. And it probably goes back to the time. It doesn't happen as often now, but back in the day when kidnappings were very common. So people would stake out people, like they'll stake them out, find as much about them as possible, kidnap them because they know they own properties, they own this money, and then they'll ransom for whatever they want to get out of that person. So that's just from history, and Colombians themselves keep very close to chest about their own financial personal information. That might be another reason why just that's just it. I won't go and talk about it anymore. All right, so Sindra 297 $5. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Look into Airbnb for Poblado. Laurel is seeing about $15 to $2,000 a month is a norm. Imagine Facebook may be cheaper. No, you can find, depending on what you're looking for, man. If you're looking for like a super nice penthouse or a very nice apartment, that $15,000 a month, that's around the price, especially in Poblado. Especially in Poblado. But you get to Laureles or maybe around on the outsides of Laureles, Estadio, other parts of, you know, Calasanz, Floresta, those areas, and you look for a studio apartment, you can find places for 450, 500 bucks a month, 600 bucks a month. You can find cheaper. But going through Facebook, what I recommend is if you do that, don't send any money before you actually seen the property. You actually walked in and you see that the person you're talking to is actually the owner that can rent it to you, because there's a scam going very common that they'll say, yeah, send $1,000 as a security deposit to hold the apartment. So I got 5 other people interested. But if you send this money, it's going to be yours. And then you Western Union it, and then you don't hear from the person ever again. So actually, I heard of a story where a guy did that, and then showed up to his apartment with his suitcase and everything, knocked on the door, and then the person answered was the owner of the house, and that he didn't know anything about what the guy was talking about. So he got scammed. There's a lot of scammers here in Colombia, yeah, especially on Facebook. So be careful. But if you do that, don't send no money. Come to Medellin, check the apartment out. So what you can do is first get an Airbnb, stay there, and then while you're here, boots on the ground, then you do that, and then you go check it out, and you come to an agreement with the owner, and you make the agreement, and you can actually get a rental contract notarized and signed where it's all legal as well at the notary. All right, so David, seriously, could you live well with $2,500 a month? I'm guessing, including rent. How much does a Toyota Corolla 2 or 3 years go for sale? Yeah, $2,500. If you're not living large and buying what bottle service, whatever they call it in the states, 2,500 is plenty of money here in Colombia. Plenty of money, especially if you get. The main thing is make sure you get your rent, the price that you can afford, and then if you're eating in, like cooking, or you're going out to lunch, 2,500 bucks. Yeah, you can definitely do it. Toyota Corolla, 2 to 3 years old. I'm not 100% sure, so I haven't priced cars yet. So, but it's gonna be more expensive than the states. Cars cost more money here than back home, especially if they're imported. I think what was that one brand that's made here in Colombia? Let me know in the comments. There's actually a brand a car that's very nice car. Renault, I believe it's Renault. That's actually had They have a manufacturer in Colombia, so you actually get a better price buying one of those. So find the car that's made here in Colombia. You actually get a better price. I think it's a Renault. Is Medellin still worth visiting? Of course it is. Of course, come and then just follow all my tips about staying safe, and you should be fine. And if you don't like it, that's it. You never know until you come. You may not like it. Exactly. Johnny V is saying, why would you want a car in Medellin? Taxis and Ubers are very cheap. That's my thought as well. I personally wouldn't buy a car. The only reason why I would have a car is for the luxury of going out to pueblos, traveling around the country. But I don't do that very often. And if I wanted to do that, then I'll just rent a car and pay for the car rental and then use that for the weekend. Because when you buy a car, you have to get insurance, SOAT, which is not it's cheap, but it's still a cost. You have to have a place to park it. So if you're in an apartment that doesn't offer a garage or a parking spot, you got to pay for the place to park it out in the city, like a parking lot. And then you got to keep up maintenance, all this stuff that goes along with owning a car, just so you can have the luxury of going around in pueblos. Because as Johnny V said, taxis and Ubers are so cheaper. You can go from one side of the city to the next side of the city, other side of the city for like $5. And what I do is I just use the metro. I use the metro, and then when I get to a metro station where it's too far for me to get to my destination, I just jump in a taxi or get an Uber and take me to that destination. Or I just get Uber from my house to my destination. So there's many ways to do it. All right. Do you think Cali is safe? I have family in Cali. Never been. Imagine less safe than Medellin, but not sure. So if you ask someone from Medellin if Cali's less safe, they're gonna say yeah. They're gonna say it's less safe than Medellin. And if you ask someone from Cali if Medellin's less safe than Cali, they're gonna say yeah, Medellin's less safe than Cali. So all depends who you're talking to. Me personally, I think it's about the same. I think it's about the same. You just gotta use your common sense and use all the tips I give on my videos how to stay safe, not give papaya, dress like a local, don't have a super expensive watch. There's actually a gang in Bogota called the Rolex Bandits, I believe they're called. And what they do is they stake out the airport and they watch for foreigners coming to the airport with very nice watches. So they look out for Rolexes, I don't know, whatever other brands or watches are at that level of Rolex. They look out for those very expensive watches. They follow the guys or whoever has the watch, and they rob them. That's how they make their living. So just dress the part. Don't be flashing your bling bling. It's not Miami, Florida. And if you're in an area that you don't know and it's nighttime, get a taxi or Uber. Let's see. Ah, Johnny. So you've used pickup, the motorcycle. I've never tried that. I'm not as trustworthy, even though these guys probably ride their motorcycle since they were kids. But it just, but that's a lot cheaper as well. Actually, no, I heard that they can be about the same prices as an Uber or an InDriver sometimes. So I don't know. I have to check that out. How do you make local friends? Local friends. The best way to make local friends is get involved in groups because you're new. You weren't born here. You didn't go to school. A lot of people have their groups or their I guess you call cliques, whatever you want to call them, because they've gone from birth all the way through high school, whatever university, and they have their friends. But they also make their friends at work. They make their friends in groups. So they join groups for dancing, for hiking, for biking, all kinds of groups. So join groups, get involved, and then be open to be invited to places. Actually, one way to make more friends is to make friends who like have friends who are involved in many groups and let them know, hey, if they're having an event, let me know. I'll love to go. And then you get invited with that friend, and now you're getting more mutual connections with all those other friends, like a spider web, right? That's the way to do it here in Colombia, in Medellin. Let's see. Tony Sayer saying, "What's the Spanish school you recommend?" Uh, yes. So that one school I did interviews with was Baselang. They're in Laureles. They're actually off of Second Park of Laureles. And if you go to the school and um, you tell them you're coming from my channel, yeah, they give me a little commission. Also on my in my description, I believe there's a link there in the description you can click through if you're gonna do the online classes. So you go through the description, click through the link, and then you sign up for online. They do like it's like $147 a month, unlimited classes online. And then if you come here in person, they offer I think a month intensive course. They offer other courses too, but I highly recommend the month intensive course to get it. It's 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. Do that and just become fluent in Spanish. Get that done. Let's see. What would you say? So Johnny's talking about if the motos is a blast, and if you're a big guy, it'll be cheaper than Uber car. But actually, I've seen there's TikToks here in Colombia as well, and there's these TikTokers in on the coast, and they play a prank. They it's like a skinnier guy, and he calls over a moto, one of the motorcycle guys that give the rides, and he say, hey, can you give me and my friend a ride? And then he calls a friend over, and the guy is like massive dude, and he gets on the back. It's funny, yeah. All right, so that just remind me about that on the comment. What would you say is the safest city to visit, nicest to enjoy your week? Manizales is considered one of the safest cities in Colombia, so that's a safe city to go visit. Jardín is a nice pueblo. It's not a city, but it's a pueblo. It's very safe there. Um, well worth it. Guatapé is great to visit. Um, maybe go to the Coffee Triangle. Go to uh, Manizales and do Pereira, and then make it to Jardín. Let's see, David. I need consulting. If you need consulting, my link, go in my description. The way to contact me through Instagram or through email, and we can schedule a Zoom consultation. I can help you out as best I can. What's your favorite Colombian beach locale? I would say if I had to choose, I haven't been to many, but I only been to Santa Marta and Cartagena. I would choose Santa Marta over Cartagena, and I would stay in the downtown Santa Marta near the no Parque de Novios. That's that near that area. It's a nice area. Are the days of finding love in Latin America and bringing them back to states done? I wouldn't say so. Okay, the question is, does the person want to go back to the states? Because everybody has a misconception at they think, oh, all the everybody who are not in the states wants to go to the states, and that's a fallacy. That's a misconception because many, for example, I'll say Colombians here in Colombia don't want to go to states. Like they have their family here, they have their loved ones here. The only reason, one of the main reasons, and of course there's other reasons, but the main reason is to go make money, go work, make as much money as possible, and then hopefully one day come back to Colombia, and with a bunch of apartments, invest in, live off the rental income. That's usually the game plan, right? There's other reasons. Like I know I talked to a few people that just don't like the chaos here. They were born and raised, and they don't like the chaos. They want the more organized and more silence of what the United States is. So that's the reason why they go. But the majority, I would say, is for the money, to work, to make money, to invest and come back here. So if you meet someone and you're able to live over here and provide a good income, a good life for that person, they may not, they most likely will be totally fine staying in Medellin. Or maybe they want to go to the States to go check it out, but then they've never been there. And then they get culture shocked. They're like, whoa, man, this is not what I thought it would be because it's too lonely. Everybody's so independent. Everybody kind of keeps in their own world. Nobody talks to each other. Nobody's in the streets walking around. And then they get homesick. They want to go home, but you brought them back. And now it's a problem. They miss their mom. They miss their family, you know. So, but then again, it could work out and they go back to those states. They love it. They bring the whole family. Everybody loves it. They make a life. So it's just all telling. So to answer your question, is it done? No. Just depends who you're talking to. Let's see. I've never felt unsafe in Medellin. Not one time the whole time I was there. Extreme Profits Online. Good, man. Good. Only time I ever feel unsafe is when I have my camera out in my hand and a motorcycle comes by. I hear the motorcycle. I'm like, ooh, and I look around. But other than that, I also don't feel unsafe. And one good thing about here in Colombia and Medellin, there's less people are less aggressive. So I think there's more of a chance for you to get an altercation in the States or in other countries like the States than here. Because in the States, you look at someone wrong or they had a bad day, they're going to take it out on you. But here, it's no. The worst thing is someone tries to rob you with, like, what's it called? Petty theft. Or you get involved in things you shouldn't be getting involved in, or with the people you shouldn't get involved in, and where other things happen to you. Let's see. Hi, local here. Pickup is used pretty often because motorcycles can be driven between cars when there's a big traffic jam. That is 100% true. Motorcycles can be driven between cars here in Colombia, and it's pickup. And also, when I was living in San Javier for a while, there's this right next to the San Javier Park. There's a bunch of guys just sitting on their motorcycles waiting. So I'm not sure if it's because they use the pickup app or that's like even before pickup. That's where everybody knew to go get a motorcycle and just take them. So yeah, 100% is used. Which place will be better for long-term living, Bogota or Medellin? Depending on you. Go check out both. Go check out both, live in both, see what you like. Me, talking David, I prefer Medellin because I like the weather here. I like that it's always sunny most of the time. It's always around 70 to 80 degrees. The people are a little bit nicer, less. Of course, there's nice. I have very good friends from Bogota. I know good people over there, great people. But in general, it's the capital. And most capitals of any country, it's going to be a little bit more abrasive kind of culture. So, and Bogota's a little bit more dangerous. So when you approach someone in the streets, you're gonna have to guard up a little. Like, oh, is this person trying to rob me? Versus here in Medellin, you can approach people and talk to them, ask them questions. And then in Bogota, it rains every day and it's cold. Now, that's not for me. So Medellin for me. Let's see, I don't like to put. I don't like to put the helmet of the motorcycle taxis on. Hundreds of sweaty heads have been there. That's true. Yeah, so you're like, what do you risk? Germs or knocking your head on the pavement? And yeah, it's just teach their own, I guess. But I just don't. I never really ridden a motorcycle that much, so and it's scary to me. Be on the back of a motorcycle. Bogota never gets warm. Seems like every day is high temperature, 65 to 70. That's true. I mean, if you like the colder temperature, you don't mind the rain. Bogota's your place. The food there is good. I like their dish, like their breakfast dish, changua. Changua is like it's a bowl of hot milk with boiled eggs, bread, and cilantro. Sounds weird? Try it out. It's actually quite tasty, especially in the cold mornings. All right. Dang, dude, not even reading my comment. I apologize, man. I'm seeing a lot of comments, but if you want me to read your comment 100%, super chat. It can be even $1.99. The only reason why is because you see Eric Powell just gave me a super chat and it highlights it, so it's easier to see. Coming out there in April, let's link up. Eric Powell. Yeah, man. I mean, if I'm around, shoot me a message, or maybe like I always say, I might try to do meetups, whatever, for everybody. But it just all depends. All depends. Let's see. I'm trying to read these comments. Uh, DeAndre Columbus. I can't find your comment anywhere. Anywhere. Hmm. Do you hear about the possible ban of Uber or similar platforms in Colombia? I don't hear that anymore. When they first came out, when Uber first came out here, there was that problem. That definitely was a problem for Uber. That's why here in Colombia, Medellin, especially, when you get an Uber, you sit in the front seat, and that goes back to the time when it wasn't allowed, and you sat in the front seat and act like their friend. So if a cop stopped, you're like, "Oh, it's my cousin or it's my friend," and you would change names, like, "Hey, what's your name? What's your name?" Tell them it's this and that. Now it's totally fine. They actually found a loophole, but people still sit in the front seat. So maybe that loophole has helped out. All right, guys. So it's been an hour and 11 minutes. I think I've answered as many questions as I can. Appreciate all the super chats, guys. Really do. And let me know what y'all think in the comments about the idea I had, the radio show, people calling in, talking, asking questions, telling stories. We'll see how that goes if I can figure out the software. All right, guys. See y'all next video. Ciao, ciao. Oh, I just saw. Oh, super chat, man. I really appreciate it, man. Enjoying the content. Thank you so much for that super chat, dude. Just saw it right when I was about to close the stream. All right, so ending stream. See y'all.